Here's my garden tour for May 31st, and it's almost tomato time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this around all of my tomato plants and water it in real good. So it's bone meal. Basically, I always do this twice in tomato season. I put a dusting on now because right now you're going to see that tomatoes, the tomatoes are just covered in blossoms right now. And this really helps prevent, and pretty much I don't ever have an issue with blossom end rot. So I put it on now, and then I'll put another bag, which it spreads out. So it's really not that much on them, but I'll do that again in a couple weeks, and then that's it. So, but here's the tour. So you'll see the sweet potato vines are really starting to leaf out nicely now. And tomatoes along the fence. And I've got some pumpkins and squash down here. Corn's growing well. Blueberries are still loaded. This lettuce is gonna be probably coming out this weekend because the cucumbers are really starting to take off. And you'll see right here, that's okra. So the lettuce is gonna all come out, and then there's gonna be okra growing real tall and real high. Cucumbers will be draping over. Potatoes, lots of basil. There's basil. The basil's going crazy this year. The dill's just awesome. So you'll remember the broccoli was in here, so that went to seed. I cut it off so it's drying. I backfilled, so these are watermelons in each corner, and those will basically drape over. I'll show you another better example of the watermelon coming over on the landscape fabric. And then I filled back in. I had a bunch of smaller pepper plants. I just don't like to leave bare soil. It'll blow away. It's bad for erosion. I don't like that. So peppers, I'll give them away to coworkers. They'll get eaten. Cucumbers, I actually just picked a large cucumber but it was kind of yellow, but the chickens loved it. So right here you'll see there's just blossoms everywhere. So there's still some lettuce in here. All this lettuce is starting to come out, and I'm backfilling with straw. Same here. More lettuce in here. The cucumbers are really blooming. You'll see baby cukes coming on. This garlic bed. There's those garlic. There it is coming out of the ground. Nasturtium is going crazy this year. Onions, basil, some dill right in the middle. I don't even know how. Clearly it got blown in there somehow. Some zinnia. I need to mulch those. Potatoes in the bags. This is my first year growing potatoes in the bags. I've learned a lot, so I will not repeat a lot of those mistakes for next year. Corn's doing great. Fantastic. Here is watermelon. So the watermelon loves this, the landscape fabric. It's black, it absorbs the heat, it reflects that heat back off, so it's loving it. It loves the warm season. And but it's in the corner there. So I think the challenge is going to be making sure this corner, which is still, it's about a good foot in because the root is right there. So there's plenty of soil around it, but I think it's going to be a challenge keeping that moist all summer long. Potatoes, that's a volunteer pumpkin right there. Tomatoes, they're going crazy. Lots of blossoms. I probably should have threw the bone meal down a few days ago. Eggplant is doing great. I haven't grown eggplant for a few years. I'm kind of one of those, I like eggplant a lot, but it's like something I don't want to eat every year. So I haven't grown it in 2 years, so now I'm really excited to do a lot of eggplant grilling. This nasturtium is huge. Basil, nasturtium. You'll see it's everywhere. My giant rosemary bushes here. So these orange boards, they're 2x3s. They're going to be used for frames. So for like this one has a green frame, that one has a brown frame, and I'm going to frame all of these beds just to make sure they stay straight. They don't bow out, they don't bow up. It's kind of like a T-beam, like an I-beam, but a T-beam in this case. Nasturtium coming all out on the walkway. I poked in some baby eggplants right there. So they're actually growing, so they'll be all right. Because I don't like bare ground. People will eat them. More basil, pepper. I don't like putting all my pepper plants together because of cross-pollination. One year I grew jalapenos and Thai chilies next to each other, and the jalapenos were so hot, no one could eat them. And the Thai chilies were not hot at all. Do have some sunflowers flowering, and you'll see there is a bee in there working it already. Hey guy. Hey. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Oh, sorry. More sunflowers. Like I said, basil. I've got 25 basil plants spread out everywhere. There's a mix of onions. I figured this out too. Like, so as summer goes on, onions really don't like the heat of the sun. So I plant them about 18 inches out from the tomato plants. So they still get, you know, full sun, they get plenty of sun, but they also get like a little bit of shade, and they seem to do way better. Oh, looky there. These are plum tomatoes. Oh, some more in there. And we're here. There's one in there. Lemongrass over there. Lemongrass is doing great. It's gonna be awesome for skewers. My peas that never did hardly anything, but they're really, really good. That's these guys right here. They're just gonna eat them. Dixie loves them. Basil. So this is parsley growing in here. And I grow parsley because for some reason, Maryland cucumbers, or caterpillars love it. Bugs love it. So it is kind of like my sacrificial gauge to what is going on in the garden. But so far, nothing has attacked it, so that's good. My neighbor doesn't spray his yard, so all his weed seeds blow over here. It drives me nuts. Actually, he does. It's not that he doesn't spray his yard, he doesn't mow his yard. So this garlic here, I'm letting it dry out. As you can see, it's awesome. Some of these stalks are like big as round as your thumb. So they're looking great. Radishes, I even came through here and like deadheaded all these, so all that energy will go to making bigger radish bulbs. But we've already eaten about half of them. You can only eat so many radishes. Peppers in here. There's actually a little pepper growing right there. Lots of nasturtium growing. This is all horseradish. Cabbage. Here are all of the cabbage seed pods. I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a bazillion cabbage seeds. So I probably should go ahead and rip some of these out, but whatever. They'll go, and I'll just throw away what I don't keep. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna backfill in here in this garlic bed. So I don't know. Well, this is the garden tour.